Possibility and impossibility are states of mind. In my mind, there is only the possible.
Yo Joes, happy Yo Joe June. Check this out. It's the G.I. Joe 40th anniversary celebration box, direct from Hasbro. I'm very flattered that Hasbro contacted me and asked me if I would be interested in taking part in Yo Joe June. I have actually never messaged them before, and I've never heard from them before. A couple of years ago, the Hasbro YouTube channel had a liked playlist, and I don't know if it was an accident or what, but there was only one video in their liked playlist, and it was my History of Megatron video for a while, and then that playlist ended up disappearing. But I was extremely flattered that the company whose toys I've been playing around with my entire life actually dug something that I worked on. This box, first of all, before I go through the contents, I just want to show you how humongous this box is with a size comparison. So anyone who has the Sky Striker box, you know how humongous a Sky Striker box is. Lining it up right here, and it is actually just a bit taller and quite a bit longer than a Sky Striker box. It's probably what the HasLab Sky Striker box is going to be like. So we've got a couple of figures in here. You'll be seeing these over the course of the next few months on the channel. The thing that I really appreciated about the person who reached out to me is they didn't actually expressly say you must review everything. Sometimes when I get offers for promotional items, there are certain conditions, like you have to put a pre-roll for a number of videos. You owe them 4 or 5 or 6 videos. And the person who reached out to me just said, would you like to take part in the celebration? And the word "for your consideration" was used. So we've got a couple of classified figures in here. There's a Python Patrol, Cobra Viper, and I'm not really into Python Patrol, so that might not be one of the ones that I consider reviewing. This one, absolutely, positively, you will be seeing a review on this one very, very soon. This is an absolutely incredible looking figure, which this is my first time seeing it in person. He has not shown up in any of the stores around here, and this is one I would buy on site. Love this character. It's more about the character than the fashion in this case. I've mentioned many times one of my favorite books, Dan Millman, Way of the Peaceful Warrior, and this is one of the most peaceful warriors in animation, in toys ever. He's basically human form of Optimus Prime. So I'm really looking forward to cracking this one open, and especially taking it outside and getting some really beautiful nature shots, because I've taken the original O-Ring Spirit out, and that one looks most at home outside. And when I first opened the box, I showed you this one. It is on a really giant card here. It's actually quite a bit bigger than a typical classified box. See how much bigger the card is, and the card is actually nice. This is kind of feels like what the original 80s cards were. I know on some 3 3/4 figures the cards are getting very, very flimsy and they warp very quickly. But that's a nice looking card. Great looking Baroness figure. And there is a ninja in here too. Storm Shadow. And it's just a spacer so that the box doesn't get crushed. Advert for a Cobra Commander helmet, cosplay helmet. Seen a lot of great customs of this, and now you don't have to create your own. Trick or Treat Studios. There's the website right there. So we'll probably be seeing a lot more Cobra Commanders for Halloween, and a Snake Eyes sword, which I've got one exactly like this. I bought it a few years ago for my Snake Eyes costume, and this one looks identical except for a little more metal wash on the blade. It's plastic, it's very light, but it'll do the trick for a costume, especially if you're wearing your costume to some event. I don't think they take too kindly to real metal swords being taken into events, but once you do this, they'll see, oh, yeah, that's fine. I've worn my Snake Eyes costume to a couple of local toy shows, and once they see it's plastic, it's not a big deal. This is another incredible figure. This one's for you, Slickster. It is a Croc Master with a beautiful, beautiful crocodile. They really know how to do the animals in this line. The timber wowed me from the Commando Snake Eyes deluxe pack, and this is heavy. And I'll tell you, it's heavy on this side. The Croc is most of the weight in this thing, I think. And finally, it's an O-ring 2-pack of the Cobra Trooper and the Cobra Officer. That is some really, really awesome vintage artwork. They're not exactly as good as the originals, but it's definitely a nice package. I'm not sure whether they're worth the charging price. That's up for you to decide. They're definitely much, much cheaper than buying originals that are mint on card. Those go for $100 or hundreds of dollars. And probably even cheaper than buying an original O-ring and recarding it with a reproduction card. So, bang for your buck. I think you do get some pretty good bang for your buck with these, especially if you're not even going to open them. If you're just going to hang them on a wall like this, have the courage to pop the peg holes. And if you're blessed with bad eyesight like myself, then really that paint job doesn't even register from that distance right there. And a final shot of everything all out on display, stacked together. Thank you very much, Hassenfeld brothers. Much appreciated from a lifelong Hasbro fan. Looking forward to the 40th anniversary of Inhumanoids someday. Fingers crossed. Yo, Joe, everyone. Nerdma stay.